Hi, Peanuts. With all this beautiful sunshine outside, it's a perfect time to play with our shadows, both inside and outside. Have you noticed that depending on what time of day it is, if you stand outside, your shadow might look very, very, very tall or very, very, very short. It might be very dark, or you might just be able to see it a little bit. Have you ever tried to trace somebody else's shadow when you're outside? That can be a lot of fun. If you've got some sidewalk chalk and you have maybe your mom or your dad or your sibling can stand and you can draw the chalk line around their shadow on the ground, and then you can trade spots and they can do it for you. I'm going to read a book called My Shadow. It's a poem by Robert Louis Stevenson. This one's illustrated by Ted Rand. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me from the heels up to the head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. See the shadow up here? The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow. Not at all like proper children, which is always very slow. For he sometimes shoots up taller like an India rubber ball. And he sometimes gets so little that there's none of him at all. He hasn't got a notion of how children ought to play, and can only make a fool of me in every sort of way. He stays so close beside me, he's a coward, you can see. I'd think shame to stick to Nursey as that shadow sticks to me. One morning very early, before the sun was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup. But my lazy little shadow, like an errant sleepyhead, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. The end.